Welcome, everybody, to the Dive After Hours, where we prematurely hit the record button just to see if people kind of get caught off guard, but we don't get caught off guard here. We're on the point. And speaking of on points, we're going to give you guys a couple of points with what was requested by KB, a little bit of the origin story of the trio, kind of where we got and how we got here. Unfortunately, it was at a bar drunk and we were plastered all over the place. Just kidding.
That's the dive bar name.
The dive bar. God, that's funny that those are still things.
Well, Detroit must be full of them.
No, we actually don't.
Really? Did it get all gentrified?
Oh yeah.
Detroit doesn't
have dive bars to my knowledge. They used to, like 2019, 2020, and then COVID happened, and then dive bars just stopped being a thing.
No. Where I live, that's all you get. You don't get a proper bar. They're all just trashy ass, dingy, a creepy old dude in the corner. Dive bar.
Yeah, no, the only bars that are close to that are like the wheel bar ones. Like it's like a bike. It's like 20 pedals and it's like a vehicle that like all the people like.
Oh yes. Like, the party bus thing, but it's your
pedal bar. Is that a cycle bar or something like that?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. It's a bunch of drunk frat boys and girls going.
Yeah. It's people clearly past their prime, still trying to hang on to their prime. German Dave is like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, that doesn't.
Western. I have Germany. No idea what's going on here.
Okay, well,
sitting here relaxed.
How are the bars like Berlin? Come on, there has to be some like sketchy 1930s era bars where like some history happened, you know?
There is, but they got a bunch
of
beautiful women over there, man.
Germany is kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like the night. I'm thinking like the night of the long knives, right? Like a bar in Bavaria.
Germany is like above average, but not great for ladies here. Let me be honest.
There's better. You got to go further south.
There's better.
You got to go east and then south.
East and south in the Balkans. No.
Eastern European. Yeah. Honestly,
it's not like we just did a full blown 2-hour video on the Balkans.
No, hey, of course there are always the outliers. You know that we all. Of course, there are always like a couple of gorgeous ones, but yeah, man, above average in totality, I think.
Yeah, that's,
what's the deal with Balkan girls though? Because like they're really, really hot, and then they're like really, really short and fat and have a mole.
No.
Yeah, like when they turn to the grandma.
The wrong.
Yeah, when they turn to grandma, man. Same with Italian girls too. It's like that part of the world. It's like once they have kids, that's one step, but once their kids have kids, it's just like I don't know if it's menopause or what the fuck it is, but like those bodies change.
Them some huge bitches.
Well, I can't comment on that.
I'm not gonna comment on that either. I know
it happens to everyone. Like I'm getting fat and old. Like we all get fat and old.
Yeah, I know lots of Balkan women that could potentially watch this in spite of me and then sit there and be like, "Oh, you say this?
I am very disappointed of you.
Very disappointed, Dashi. No, kuchi for you.
You're not welcome home.
You're not welcome here. I swear to God, you guys are gonna give me, or Dave's gonna get me disowned by Albania at some point by me just saying something out of pocket or stupid.
We just went over this. You at least visit the damn country.
I should, right?
You call yourself a big to go to Albania. They tell you it's different.
Honestly, I'm about to go there earlier than him. So
German Dave's gonna go there before me. It's not gonna surprise me.
I was almost there. I just thought I needed more paperwork, or my buddy thought I needed more paperwork to cross the border. He's still living in like the fucking Yugoslavian days.
He's sitting there. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's communist Albania back in the day. You know, it's like 91, but you can't get in or out. It's like North Korea before it was cool."
I was there. I was literally standing on the border, like looking at Albania, but no, didn't go in.
I thought you were gonna be like one of those smartasses that jumps in between the line. It's just like, now I'm in Albania, now I'm in Macedonia, now I'm in Albania, now I'm in Macedonia. And then like the security guard, border patrol just goes up to you and just goes, "Are you done? Hey, you done? You done jumping? I want to go back and drink coffee and watch football."
No, honestly, that's what this border was. It was literally just like a road in the hills that
Yeah,
There was like one of those arms that swing up and down, and like a couple dudes.
yeah, just a couple dudes watching some Champions League Pirates.
Should I just fly there, or should I make it a whole road trip? 23 hours, like with car.
Oh, that's 2 days.
Dude,
That's
oh
2
my
days.
goodness, I can see it happening now. German Dave's like, "Hi everyone, German
dude,
Dave here. I'm live in Albania before Dash."
Honestly, I have the Czech Republic on the way. Oh, sorry, Czechia these days.
Czechia, yeah. They change their name every 5 years.
Austria, Slovenia, Croatia, a bit of Bosnia, then through Montenegro, and man, I'm there in Albania.
I've always
be a
wanted
nice
to do
trip,
it.
honestly.
Yeah, you just drive through all those different countries up and down. Why not?
I thought you were
Like
gonna,
I did that for Croatia. I wouldn't mind doing that again.
I thought you were gonna refer him
Like
to
when
take the train.
went to Croatia, I stopped everywhere. Train,
You know, all we need for this to happen is for us to finish in 6th place.
7th.
Okay, 7th.
6th or 7th?
No, because we're probably not getting
sixth, I believe.
Conference League, baby.
For CL spots, 1 Europa League, if I'm correct. One Conference League.
Dude, if we're in Conference League and we play like I don't know what's a good like Croatian team in the Conference League.
Did I?
Hajduk Split. I don't know. Tudor going back to the old country.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dinamo Zagreb.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And
then we're talking about that, right? That's hilarious. I know we're getting back into the Juve shit, but
I know we're getting into sports, and we shouldn't be getting into sports. But
going back to the traveling and like going by road, and like with Igor Tudor, how and it was brought up again this week, and he was like, "Yeah, when I joined Juve back in the day, I drove 10 hours from Croatia. It was no big deal. It's no big deal for me. I do it now." And he's trying to tell people like, chill the fuck out. Like, you can get in a car and drive to another country. Yeah, it's not hard.
Well, I mean, again, like most Juve fanboys that are like that don't even leave their basement. So they're like, "Oh my gosh, such Juventino, he drove 10 hours." It's like, bro, people have driven 5 hours to get some like cheap, ugly coochie. Like, it's not that big of an accomplishment.
It really fucking isn't.
Like seriously, there are some dudes that have literally drove 4 hours away to smash. Like, it's like, oh.
I drove 16 hours just so I can wake up 2 hours later, pack up all my shit, and drive 16 hours back.
That sucks. I'm sorry. That just sucks.
It sucks, but like, I think we got to put things in perspective. That I did it. It sucked, but I did it because I had to do it. Now just change that. Make it like maybe 10 hours that you're driving in a day, but you're just on the beautiful Adriatic coast, stopping for a coffee or a gelato or whatever, and you're on vacation, you're enjoying it.
Do they call that gelato over there? Like,
I don't know, whatever they call
like, it's just some random ass name, like Croatian name, like Scream or something like that. I don't know.
There's some sort of ice cream thing, sure. Probably made out of yogurt.
There we go. I broke German Dave. Not even 10 minutes into the stream, I broke him.
I'm dead. You didn't just break me, you broke all the Croatians as well.
He's just sitting there like he's attentively listening. I'm just like, it sounds like I spat, and he's just like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck did you say? You insulted my mom?"
No, I just insulted you for not watching Top Gun.
Have you watched it yet?
No, man. I don't even have time to breathe.
I'm gonna, like, one of these days, like, just as like we're filming the After Dark, I'm just gonna stream the movie in Discord and just have him watch it.
Oh, we should do a Top Gun watch party with everybody.
Like, that would be so funny. Could you imagine like doing a Juve watch along? German Dave is just like streaming Top Gun.
Hold on. Oh, I'm dropping shit, but guess what I have?
A plane with a peg in the back.
It's remember how they do the whole thing, like, and I was inverted. Boo! It's one of those things.
Yeah, I get it.
It's one of the things from Top Gun. You guys suck. You don't know. Dave, do you at least know this thing? It's for when pilots, like when fighter pilots are like, "I'm so cool, you should see I went like this." And I turned over and went around.
I know.
The best line of that, she's like, "So what were you doing up there?" "We were communicating." He's like, Flipping the bird. Oh, I'm so sorry. It just does that. Oh, that's so classic.
We're gonna watch.
Well, I
Yeah.
just wish I saw that.
No, we gotta. We'll do a video. It'll be an after dark. German Dave reviews Top Gun. Like, oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Oh, that
You
would be good.
But
Next
both
week?
movies.
both movies. Though I think again, the second
Oh my
one is
God.
cinematography, man. Like
Well,
that's
the first one from 1986 was cinematography as
yeah.
well.
But I
which is
know, but I'm
awesome.
just saying, like the fact that they had all the actors do like proper like flight training to fly the F-18s is nuts.
Did they actually?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know
flew them.
that.
Yeah,
I
they
did
worked
not
with
know
you.
that.
Yeah, the behind the scenes. Yeah, they started with like a crop duster, worked their way to like an older jet, and then they worked up to the F-18, and then
Yeah.
like the actual aircraft carrier scene is like they actually flew off an aircraft carrier.
I gotta look into that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that
To
is
do
a
carrier
huge.
work,
That is a huge deal.
Interesting.
Like I was like I saw it, like it was honestly because I watched it recently, and I guess the NSA is like, well, let's send Dash a bunch of like Top Gun shit now because he watched it. So
Mhm.
it's like a behind the scenes clip of it. I'm like, really? And then, like there's scenes where like Tom Cruise is in the fucking fighter plane, and then there's like another one behind him that's like filming him fly, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is so cool.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, I can see because he is a pilot. He has done well, he's rich and he does whatever the fuck he
Tom
wants.
Cruise,
He has done all his licenses and everything. Like technically, I believe he's even allowed to fly an Airbus A320. Like he did the passenger airplane. Oh, like what is it called?
Commercial aviation.
Tom
Yeah, the
Cruise,
commercial aviation license. He got that as well.
like Tom Cruise is the legit. Like I remember the Mission Impossible scene. It was I think it was Rogue Nation where he's literally on the hanging off of the
Oh,
C-150
helicopter.
Hercules.
130.
Is it the 130? The
Yeah,
C-130
no, it's
Hercules?
100% 130. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the C-130 Hercules where he's like legit just hanging off that thing while it's actually taking off. I'm like sitting here, I'm like, he just like shits on any other stunt
Oh, you
actor.
mean the
Yeah.
military aircraft?
Yeah,
Sorry,
C-130 Hertz. Yeah.
I was thinking the helicopter. I forgot what which that
He
one
did
was. Which
that
one that
too.
he did that from helicopters as well. Dude, he's honestly a real life Superman.
Yeah, well, and then
Just
there's the
that
one.
he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's like, listen here, Dave. I may be an asshole, but at least I do my own stunts. But like, yeah, there's like the scene in Mission Impossible where like he jumps over, like he jumps across a building. He fucking broke his ankle, pulled himself up, and looks at the guy. Did you get the
Yeah, yeah,
shot? I'm like sitting here, I'm like, this
yeah.
guy's like
By the way,
I'm
I watched all the Mission Impossible movies at least. So
There's a new one coming out.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
last
final,
something or final. Yeah.
the final reckoning.
I
That's it.
That's the
dude,
last one,
I'm sipping again, but damn, I can't wait to watch Haley Atwell again.
dude. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
Watch
damn.
what?
Haley Atwell. David, look her up. Jamie, pull up the clip here. Jamie, we got to get the clip of Haley Atwell here.
Oh yeah.
I got that.
Oh yeah. I guess I can show this.
Yeah,
Nice
she's
back.
not. It's not inappropriate. It's just every
No,
boy.
she's pretty.
But choose the right pictures. Oh,
Just
She's the right picture.
not the
See
AI
one of
ones.
those?
Not the AI ones.
Oh, she was.
dude, honestly,
Agent
Yeah,
Carter.
yeah, she was
yeah. I've seen her.
Peggy Carter, right? Peggy was
Yep.
the
I mean, like, I don't really watch these movies. I probably just like passively seen her.
those movies were kind of mid, the Captain America ones, except of Civil War.
I thought.
Yeah, I
I
wasn't
thought.
really.
I thought Winter Soldier was good.
I was so confused. I thought like the Winter Soldier, there was something to do with it. Winter.
No.
There was no snow or
No,
anything.
no,
I didn't know. I
yeah,
just didn't get
it
it.
had to do with Russia, and that's how you make the connection
No,
to
I kind of figured that
winters.
out, and I was just so disappointed. I'm like, when you're just so disappointed to find something out that you're just like, you can't digest it anymore. You're just like, no, I'm done.
Dash, but I love you. No, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she's in the Mission Impossible.
Yeah, she
Oh
she
yeah,
is the
she
new
wasn't the
female
last
lead.
one as well, and she will be in
Yeah.
the one as well.
Yeah. It just sucks because that's like one of the last like good summer blockbuster movie series. Like because it's ending. and it's like it's done. There's
Isn't
no
he
more
like 70?
Who,
Is
Tom
it,
Cruise?
will it be done
Yeah.
though? Will
Yeah,
it be done though,
I don't
Dash?
see Tom said he's like it's done.
Really?
Oh, 62.
Do you also actually think that the upcoming Fast and Furious will be the last one?
No, because Vin
No.
Diesel's a douche and he likes to milk everything at this point. Like the
Yeah.
guy's still milking Paul
Oh,
Walker's death.
yeah.
It's been like 12 years.
Oh, yeah. That's some evil ass shit, by the way.
That's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like Vin Diesel still milks that. Like I understand it for Fast and like what was it, Furious 7? Get it, totally. But it's like, oh, Paul Walker wanted us
Dude,
to do this.
everything after that, and we have to keep his legacy alive. Shut
He's,
the
he's,
hell up,
he's
man.
like, nah, he can't make enough money being Groot, so that's why he's still doing this. It's like, and to be honest with you, like, because we're kind of talking about movies right now.
Dude, worst thing about it, he is so no, not that he's desperate for money. I guess he's still rich, but the dude is so desperate to earn that money. He wants it so badly. He even brought The Rock back to the Fast and Furious movie, and they can't stand each other.
I think both of them did it because The Rock's
No,
just kind of bad as well,
yeah,
production-wise.
but both of them hate each other to death because they were always clashing at the set with each other and philosophy-wise and everything. And yeah, honestly, The Rock is the most requested and biggest like star in Hollywood right now.
Is it like he's
And
just requested to play himself? Like, if you've ever seen, like, a Rock movie, like a movie with a Rock in it, it's just literally The
it's
Rock.
always, I swear, it's always the same.
Yeah,
Whether
it's
it's
the same
Jumanji,
role.
even there's the Tooth Fairy, like you can name any movie on. Like
Like
in Fast, he's literally always just him. Yeah.
yeah, like, it's just the same character, like the what is it? The new Christmas movie that he came out was, like, Red One or something like that.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was bad. I tried watching it.
Dude, it was bad. I watched it in cinema, so I went to it, so I guess I had to watch it and didn't fall asleep during it. But my
I
God, what
fell
a bad
asleep
movie!
Yeah,
hard.
the
I
the
was like, I don't
only
even want to stay
What a
awake.
bad movie!
the only actor that could play himself in multiple roles and do it successfully is Ryan Reynolds. Nobody else.
That guy's kind of digging a grave with Blake Lively right now, though.
Oh, I don't even know what happened between the two.
My wife's super into it. No, it's with Justin Baldoni, that rom-com that they were filming. And it
Oh,
was
with Blake and Justin?
Justin wasn't in it. It was
Oh.
the two main characters was Blake Lively and this Justin Baldoni guy, and he was also the director. And Blake basically tried to take over the whole thing, and then started claiming sexual harassment because there was like the intimate scene.
Oh,
Apparently, she's just full of shit, and there's no proof of it, and
Yeah.
it's just Hollywood drama.
You know,
It's stupid.
like, look, I understand with like wanting to do her thing and being like her, but like at this point, bro, like you're married to Deadpool. Like you don't have to work.
Mhm.
Like I don't understand why it would have to be that big of a deal for. Like, I mean, obviously I'm coming into it naive. Like I don't even know what the hell's going on behind the scenes, but it's just like your husband owns a football club that's essentially working on promotion in England. He just sold Mint Mobile for a fuck ton of money versus when he
Oh, did
bought
he
it.
sell it?
Yeah, I think he
and
sold it. He
and
sold it
he's a
now, go
co-owner
ahead.
of Alpine Formula One team as well.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got partial ownership. He
So
has like aviation, gin. He's got
yeah.
a few different things.
Well, so like yeah,
Wrexham.
with Mint Mobile, he bought it for like 5 million, sold it for like way more.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
he
like
got it. Like he got it as a startup.
yeah, and then it was like he sold it, and then like the new owner is like paying him to be their spokesperson, like to do ads and stuff like that. So like the new owner of Mint Mobile is also paying Ryan more money for him to be on Mint Mobile commercials.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like you're effectively married to like like, and again, this is my perspective. If I was Blake Lively, I would just sit there and be like, yo, shit, I don't even have to work anymore.
Well, especially since she's not even a good actor.
She's not A-list.
She's
And-
like she's
and I'm
only
not-
B-list because of who she married.
Yeah, and it's like
some dude's mouth once in a while.
right, and it's not like I'm hating on her because she's a woman, right? Because like for example, there are some really great women actors. Gal Gadot's a good actor. Haley Atwell.
Oh
that we
no
just-
no 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 no! Gal Gadot is literally one of the worst actresses out
Really,
there.
you think so? Or no, Ana
Dude.
de Armas. Ana de Armas. I'm sorry.
I was gonna think more like
She is
man.
great.
What's
Have you watched have you watched Eden, the movie? I know we talked about it because of Sydney Sweeney and blah blah blah. But have you watched the actual movie?
I don't think it's
Anna
out
de
yet.
Armas. Anna de Armas is playing a honestly an absolute psycho. Like one scene, she's just trying to arouse guys and blah blah blah, and the next one she's just a psychopath, like trying to kill people and murder kids and blah. Blah. Dude,
What you guys are fucking
she's
B-listing right
incredible.
here. These are the top female actors right here. All I had to do was type in female
Natalie
actresses.
Portman by far is a great actress.
Meryl Streep is amazing. Nicole Kidman had her time. Charlize,
Yeah.
Julia Roberts is amazing. Scarlett Johansson, Jodie Foster, like Angelina Jolie,
Sandra Bullock. Come on, yeah.
Kate Blanchett. Like these are the female actors right here.
These are they are the classics, of course. If you let's debate them if you want to, like, go on. Like, so far I agree. I think
IMDb, let's do it. IMDb top 100. Kate Blanchett number 1. Okay,
I don't know her, so Natalie Portman, yeah, for sure. Oh, I haven't seen Uma Thurman in forever. Kill Bill.
Not a huge fan of her.
Yeah.
oh, great.
Do we want to also look at like
Helena Bonham Carter is also great.
Charlize Theron, yeah.
Yeah,
she plays a lot of unique.
We can
she
agree on all of those.
Charlize Theron, yeah.
Yeah, Charlize Theron
does all different kinds of stuff.
I don't know whether I just don't remember who was the lady in Fifth.
Oh, in Fifth, Frances McDormand.
The lady in Fifth.
She's old as shit.
I honestly haven't heard of her. I don't know if
No, she's Canadian.
But I just didn't see anything of her. But from Ontario.
Frances McDormand. She did Fargo. Fargo was cool.
Yeah. You know, oh yeah, I remember that one. That was an old
good movie.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to watch the new one with Ewan McGregor. Is it Ewan McGregor? The new one? Or do I miss
new one? What? I don't know. Ewan McGregor's still. Did he come back from the dead? I hadn't heard about him for like a decade.
Ewan
I feel
McGregor's still doing some stuff here and there.
You know who I from the men's perspective, who I think is like one of the better actors that are out right now is Glenn Powell.
I know that. I gotta see the thing.
He was Hangman.
I need to see it.
Oh, this guy. He's kind of got that face, dude. Where I just wanna punch him.
Yeah, because he's banging everybody.
That's probably why it's that smirk. Is like I fucked her. Dude.
I've seen him in multiple roles, and it's just like, and ironically, like what really kicked it off for him is
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. Dave
here
Scott.
he is.
Oh, that
he's all right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't not like him. I guess
he's played like, damn, he's only like 7 years older than me. Shit. Damn, I picked the wrong career.
Oh, he was the guy that did the Twisters movie.
Yeah. So he's
bad.
I saw the trailer and I didn't know whether I wanted to watch it because there's a first movie to it, I believe.
The original is amazing.
The original?
Yeah, the original one's incredible.
And that had one of those actresses we just saw.
And I didn't watch the new one because I haven't watched the first one yet.
There's a Top Gun 3. They
apparently I just saw that too. Twister 96.
I remember that one. That movie was so good. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Bill Paxton and those guys.
Huge, great movie. If you haven't seen that one, if you're into just like weather disaster type movies, this is one of the OGs.
Yeah, that one was incredible. Like that is, again, you should watch that before you watch it, because I think in the new Twisters movie they kind of throw some they do some homages to that. Like the Ram is kind of looked like the older Ram in that. But yeah, the reason why I'm saying Glenn Powell is like one of the better up and comers is like, if you look at like what Dave had as like movies that he had pulled up, like he's played different types of roles, and I think he's executed them well. Because like, for example, So like, yeah, anyone but you. He's kind of like the hopeless romantic / kind of douchebag. In Twisters, he's that cowboy scientist. In Hitman, he's like this really nerdy loser that doesn't know what he's doing in life, but is posing as like a fake hitman. Like he's able to play between the two roles. Like I
What
like
did he
that
play
movie.
in Top Gun?
In Top Gun, he played
Basically,
Iceman.
Tom Cruise, the new Tom Cruise,
He played Iceman. I think
or
he
the
played
new
Ice.
Iceman.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he kind of
that'd be
reminds
more
me of
Iceman.
Iceman.
Yeah, he would be more Iceman. That's true. Yeah, I'm remembering it better now. And Running Man, they're remaking that. That's an old '80s Schwarzenegger film.
Yeah. And they picked him for it. Like this guy, and to be honest with you, the crazy thing about it was so like a little bit of thing that I saw about him. He mentioned there was an interview where he was talking about how he said Tom Cruise practically kicked off his like acting career in the 2020s because originally he auditioned for Rooster and
Mm.
he didn't get the role and then like Tom calls him and he's like, "Hey, look, I know that like you didn't get Rooster, but I think you might fit in this other role." And he pitched Hangman, which is again, it's a modern version of Iceman. And like Glenn was kind of like, "Well, I don't know if I want to be like the secondary character or anything like that." But like he did it, and like he did it really, really well, and he just ended up getting a bunch of other gigs after that.
He does
Because
have
like
a whole bunch of different. Just like looking at some of these things,
yeah, he has, like, especially from, like, the 2010s to, like, before Top Gun, he was doing, like, multiple roles.
Dark
Like,
Knight Rises. That's a pretty big
I
one.
I
I think he was an extra. I think he was an extra
the
there.
whole time I tried to remember who he played because the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises are two of my favorite movies, but I don't remember who he played there.
He had to have played it. We could probably look him up in IMDb. I'm like, you just type in in the Dark Knight Rises, it'll say what role he played.
Traitor number one. Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
oh
Yeah, he was Luke.
shit! Oh my
Oh, he was
god, that's so funny.
oh my god. Oh, that yeah, man. I
Dude,
forgot.
holy hell, how old since he was, like, 7 years older than me, when that was out.
Okay,
Fuck, he was,
when
like,
was
early
Dark Knight?
19. He was, like, 19, 20 years old.
Okay, Dark Knight Rises was 2012, which is 13 years ago. So if he's 36, he would have been 23.
Yeah, oh shit.
By
Yeah, 'cause
by the way, how crazy
He's
is it
19.
that these movies are already like 10 plus years old, man?
I can't believe that's 13
Like
years old.
what the hell?
You know,
Mhm.
I thought, like, that to me is one of my like, that trilogy for me by far is my
It was
favorite.
incredible. Honestly, like superhero movie wise, that trilogy is maybe the best one out there.
So
Like
I remember the
above
rise.
everything else.
There was a rise and decline in like the early 2010s. Some of these things started to come out again. Like there was nothing for a good 20 or so years. There were some cartoons there, but nothing like like really big movies since like the
Yeah.
90s kind of idea, right? So it had been like 15 years at least since anything good came out. And then all of a sudden Spider-Man came out. And it was, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man. It's too kiddie, way too kiddie.
They
Um,
felt a bit nerdy, but I think Iron Man was what kicked it off again.
and then yes, and then
The
Iron
first
Man came
Iron
out,
Man movie.
the
Yes.
first one, and that was really fun, funny action. You know, it was just a good old fashioned kind of like action superhero movie, and because it was Iron Man, it wasn't some like hokey superpower nonsense. It was still like it was solid. And then the
Oh,
Dark Knight came out, which is now DC. I'm not even a comic book, but like back then, I was into these movies because it was like they were refreshing the genre and like really making it serious. Like the Dark Knight
Well,
took that like goofiness away.
even
Made it real.
Batman Begins. I
yeah.
think Batman Begins
Yeah.
was the first
Batman
domino.
Begins, by the way, I researched Batman Begins was 2005. I forgot that. And Iron
2005,
Man
I
was
did forget about
2008.
that.
So it was Batman Begins. And by the
Oh
way,
shit, maybe it was.
honestly, one of the best roles that Liam Neeson ever played, right?
Oh my god,
Honestly,
Ra's al Ghul
ho-
was incredible.
honestly, Liam
Batman
Neeson as
Incredible.
Begins,
Ra's
yeah.
al Ghul was better than he was.
Qui-Gon?
Like I don't give a like the 96 Hours movies were trash in my opinion with Liam Neeson. He was sorry, but he wasn't good as Qui-Gon. Like literally everybody could have played that role.
But
It
he
was
got
just
he got
the
every
name that
role.
made it work.
Like
But
Liam Neeson was
goddamn,
just in everything back then,
yeah.
though.
But
That was
yeah. But as Ra's al Ghul, goddamn, that was great.
Like, oh my goodness.
But yeah, that was the first one. But yeah, so it was like Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man. and then just like then it
Some
was
would even go
everything.
back to Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I think that's
I
what
don't
kinda
know.
kicked it, right? Because, like, I think
2002. That
Yeah,
was
man. Okay,
2002.
that was one of
well,
yeah.
yeah, it was because Spider-Man 2 came out in, like, 2004, I think, right? Because
The one
there
with
was 2 Tobey
Doc
Maguire movies
Doctor
that came out.
Octavius. Well, 2004, like 2 years
2004.
after.
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, like, it showed that it could be done, but, like, that was again, it was Sony, it wasn't really Marvel, and it
Yep.
wasn't really DC at the time. So, and then it's like
Yep.
so you had those 2 Spider-Man movies, and again, it was I think it was more of a serious tone, right? Because The Amazing Spider-Man was more lighthearted.
Mm.
That was Andrew
What
Garfield, right? The Amazing
Yes, that
Spider-Man.
was yep, The Amazing Spider-Man. That one was more lighthearted until, like, the end of the second one where who snaps her neck, but,
Yeah.
but, like, for example, with this one, the Tobey Maguire ones were a little bit more serious. I mean, I like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, like,
I
those
think
2
that
movies.
I personally think the Tom Holland ones are the best because they are something in between both, right? Like it is
Yeah, I get it.
serious enough, but with the comedic aspect. And sorry to say, but I think Tom Holland is a way better actor than Tobey Maguire.
Tobey
Oh, I
Maguire is
think
different. Is a completely different type of actor, I think.
he has the Peter Parker look.
Yeah, he's
Like, the
fitting for the
older
role.
like, he's got the older Peter Parker look, but as far as mannerisms, I think Tom Holland is like that, like, just the way that he talks and he carries himself is like that, like, actual, like, Peter Parker, where it's like Tobey
Yeah,
Maguire can look like it, and, like, for me, Andrew Garfield just didn't really look like a Peter Parker. He could play Spider-Man well, he just didn't look like a Peter Parker to me.
yeah.
I don't know.
But
See, I just never really liked the Spider-Mans. I guess when I was a kid, I read some
it's
of the comics,
yeah. It's
but it
it's
was
not it's not as serious, right? Like, in theory, it's not as serious as, like, your Batmans and those, right? Because, like, for example, in my
Yeah.
opinion, I think Batman is hands down the more serious superhero out of the
well,
Absolutely.
DC in general is way more serious. So when I was a kid, again, I was into Spawn, and like that was some
Oh,
dark
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like, even in general, even, like, in comparison to, like, DC, like, I think it's just, like, the amount of symbolism that Christopher Nolan did in that trilogy was fucking
It was
insane. Like,
incredible, yeah.
to me, like, Christopher Nolan, as far as a movie director, is, like, it's no comparison. Like, it's just the way, like, for example, and I'm gonna see if German Dave knows this one, but, like, do you know the reference to the Lazarus Pit in The Dark Knight Rises?
W Like, yeah, I know the scene, but,
The prison,
what
right?
is
So the
yeah.
Lazarus Pit is something that Ra's al Ghul used to use to, like, jump into and rejuvenate his mind, his body, and his spirit, and
Yeah.
his strength.
That is, comic stuff,
Yeah.
in behind that. I'm not, too familiar with the lore behind.
So what they did, what Christopher Nolan did was then in the prison, he effectively the prison that Bane and, Talia
Yeah,
al Ghul climbed out of, he
yeah,
kind of made it as the Lazarus Pit because when Bruce gets thrown down in there, Bruce's body is broken and Bruce's spirit is broken, but they say in the depths of the Lazarus Pit has regenerative restorative properties, and for him, it was him regaining himself to be Batman because, like,
yeah,
he was broken as a person and physically broken, and then
he
he goes into the
yeah,
pit and he climbs out of the pit like Batman again.
yeah,
And I saw this
yeah,
comment which I really, really liked, was that, like, it was referencing so, like, for example, it was saying Scarecrow broke Bruce's senses, the Joker broke Bruce's,
Morale.
morale, and then Bane broke his body, Talia broke his heart, and then
Yeah,
it's just kind of like all the senses, and then yet his resolve is what carries him through, like,
yeah,
that was kind of the messaging
yeah,
Christopher Nolan was doing, which is insane. To do that within 3 movies like that, and it's not even, like, obvious, right? It's like if you sit there
yeah,
and you kind of, like, look at it in a 2020 hindsight, like, you put the pieces together and it's like,
yeah.
holy shit, like, that is why for me, I cannot see another director better than Christopher Nolan. The fact that he doesn't do any more movies like this or superhero movies kinda throws me off because it's like, dude, I think for him because, like, they wanted to do a Batman 4, but, like DC wanted it, but Nolan's like, "No, I'm done after 3, that's it."
No,
And then
honestly, he he has put a perfect end to it, right?
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
That's
that
just
was
it.
the perfect ending. You don't need to go further. Like
Well, you just
if you
said it. You don't need to go
go
further. Yeah, how? Why
yeah.
do we have like fucking Captain America 27?
Oh, Fast
Why
and
have we gone
Furious
further with any of these?
10 now.
I don't care what fucking number they're at. There's too fucking many.
Yep.
That's the point. Is that somebody of a great mind like Christopher Nolan, he clearly saw the writing on the wall. He knew what the project was. He saw it to the end. He made a fucking masterpiece. To make a superhero movie that highly rated, that well respected across fans and industry, it's a masterpiece, regardless, like it or not.
And also as a trilogy to be that consistently great, where you don't have a movie that is clearly trash and one that is clear, like in my opinion, The Dark Knight with the Joker is my favorite movie ever.
Mhm.
But to still have a trilogy that consistently great is incredible.
Yeah.
So he saw the writing on the wall. He's like, no, like this is the pinnacle. What happened after that trilogy? It was just the regurgitation of superhero movies. It basically like, okay, now that the teenage vampire movies have kind of like come and gone, now there's no competition. It's just superhero movies.
Yep.
That's it. Screw you. That's all you get. And then Top Gun 2 came out in between. It was amazing for a couple hours, and then we went back to shitty fucking superhero movies.
Yeah, you know what's
No,
kind of ironic? Oh, go
and
ahead.
also like he went away from that because I think the Batman movies were the ones that put him actually like big on, like he was always a big movie director, but those Batman movies were, I think, the what put him over, right?
I think Inception
In
did.
in my opinion.
Inception's huge. Yeah.
But Inception came after the Dark Knight.
It came after it came after The
Mm.
Dark Knight. Yeah, you're right.
And then after that, it was The Dark Knight Rises, I believe.
You know the crazy
And
thing about it is Christopher Nolan
dude,
looks like Leo DiCaprio. Like there's like
oh yeah,
eerie
absolutely.
similarities
By the
between
way,
the two.
I'm so excited for Odyssey.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
know.
I
Him
don't
god,
know
writing
if I
that?
am though.
I can't
Like
wait for the movie.
I'm hesitant
I
because
was
these
dude,
historical ones sometimes are a mess.
I'm there for the cinema, not for the historical context.
He's like, I don't give a shit how Odysseus looks. I'm just here for some Christopher
No,
Nolan cinema.
funny enough, I like Greek mythology, and I had a university course where I had Greek law because it was the start of the democratic like era in
It
Europe.
was it was the origin story of Europe and the democratic process.
Yep. And we had actual Greek mythology as well in that course too, where we learned why the Greeks took so many elements from the mythology and put it into their vision of a democratic world and blah 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 blah. But
Apparently,
dude, it's fun.
so I've got a list of Christopher Nolan movies, and all of them go from. So it starts. So reading. Well, let's just start with Batman Begins. So he's got Batman Begins in 2005. Then he goes to The Prestige. He did screenplay for that. And then he did The Dark Knight, Inception, then Inception, The Kabul Job. Is that a
There's
sequel?
another one?
That a sequel? What the fuck?
Nobody knows about that.
No, I don't think there was a sequel. It was I don't know, extras or
Oh,
whatever.
I think it's a comic. It's an extra. It's not an actual thing. Then you have The Dark Knight Rises, and then he did Man of Steel, which is his lowest rated movie out of
Dude,
7.
I heard that was bad.
by the way, maybe even though it was bad, one of the best like other superhero movies that DC produced.
And then he knocked it out of the park with Interstellar. And
Oh
then
yeah, that
Interstellar
was
was
big.
incredible. Yeah,
there was Dunkirk in
Dunkirk was
2017.
It
incredible.
was okay.
The
Incredible. Yeah, it
Dunkirk
was good.
was great. As
And
a
then
war,
you,
like
It doesn't resonate with me though.
I guess it's a war movie. You can't show like a lot of stuff like in depth, but still like the characters and how they're fighting morale and all of that
I guess
was great.
I've like watched every war movie. It's one of my things. Love the war movies.
Yeah.
And like you say Dunkirk, and I'm not like, oh yeah, It's not like Saving Private Ryan, where like I have vivid imagery of this movie, or like Saving Private Ryan. No, I just said that one. Full Metal Jacket, for instance, another huge one, right? Like those are huge war movies. Say Dunkirk, it's like, oh yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then he did Tenet in 2020, which
I never watched that. That was during COVID. Yeah, was it good?
What?
Oh,
it was an espionage movie. You can't find it anywhere. You only can get it on Prime Video for renting it.
Tenet was like something close to Inception, where you can form the world around you, but it was like
It was espionage. It was based off the CIA.
an espionage movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only you can only I'm trying to see. Yeah, you can only rent it. It's not available anywhere to stream. That sucks. I kind of wanted to watch it. And then his last movie was Oppenheimer, which again, that was a banger.
I still need to watch that one. I need to commit the time though. That's the problem.
Was incredible.
Well, if you watch Top Gun, I'll watch Oppenheimer.
I will. Trust me, I will. Trust me, bro.
I need to watch Oppenheimer. I am interested in that story. It's again just like that history. And
we forgot Justice League in between. That was bad.
That wasn't him. It was someone else. Zack Snyder.
No, Zack Snyder did corrected the version of Christopher Nolan. I believe there was the Snyder cut, and that it doesn't have the first one of Christopher Nolan wasn't as good.
Yeah, I don't have him. It's not listing it. It's not listing the Justice League on him. Let me see if I can Google it real quick.
Well, wasn't he the director of that?
I don't think so.
And when you guys are nerding out, you kind of get so focused in, and I was trying to get the cues
Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder.
Oh, okay. So he did it twice, and the first one was so bad he did it again,
and then he did the Snyder cut.
You guys just did it again. You just proved my point as I was saying how hard you nerd out. That you guys just like you hyper focus. It's like
we are absolutely in focus. It's like I'm working right now.
Yeah.
Because I tried to segue you with the origin story because that's what we promised the people, and I feel if we do not flex back,
I can't believe we got into a 40-minute discussion about movies.
That's what I'm saying.
Why not?
We talked about all the origin stories.
No, I know. I know it was supposed to be like a 5-minute segment where we just talked about it because like we didn't even. So like, hey guys, we didn't even go into this sitting there thinking, hey, let's talk about movies.
We didn't even start with Star Wars, man.
We didn't. Yeah, like we didn't even talk.
Start.
Like it was just kind of like, okay, like we came into the studio and it's like, all right, let's film, and then Dave prematurely hits record like
it's
always, and then it's like we're just going because like we didn't even know what the hell to talk about today besides the origin stories, and then all of a sudden we just went into a 42-minute discussion on movies. It's like
because of origin stories.
This is why I love doing these videos because it's us unadulterated, unfiltered, just going for it. But anyways, origin stories. Where do we even start with the origin story?
We go all the way. We go all the way back.
Like
all the way back.
Yeah, that means German Dave's gonna have to be quiet for a little bit.
German Dave's out of there.
Yeah. No, I'm the new guy, so guys, take it away.
It's like in a world riddled by shenanigan diseases and corrupt politicians, two guys came together on a very terrible street. No.
I will just play around with my dart here. You guys go for it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we won't keep you out of it too long. I hope not.
Like I think we met back in 21, I think. Yeah, it was. I think it was in 21.
Was it 21?
Because
21 back then. Anyway,
because like for example, BZ started. I want to say for them when they really got popular and when people started watching them was the Locatelli video.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Locatelli video because that channel was like very, very like low and no one knew because it was just Beppe that was running everything at the time, right? It was
and Berto was just starting AJC on the YouTube side of things as well, maybe a year prior.
Yeah, and like so it was more so like because like BZ was like an alternative to Jesus Juve because like I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys. Like I was having Jesus Juve fatigue at the time where I'm just kind of like, okay, Beppe reads the newspapers, it is what it is, whatever, right? I need
it was a different show back then as well.
It was, right? Yeah. It was very different. And then it was more interesting because like for example, like what really pulled me in was that the Justin character that did it, right? Like Justin was kind of fun to listen to because Justin was kind of like your typical radio guy where it was just like, okay, I can listen to him while I'm driving to work.
Mhm.
And that's where it kind of is. And then, I was following them for a while, and then it was like they started getting a little bit bigger, and then they started memberships, and then you were Dog Daddy
Dog Daddy
Davide.
Davide.
That was yours, right? And like in
Yeah.
the streams, like you'd be in the comments, I'd be in the comments, and like all of it. And it was like Carr, who's
Yeah, J Carr goes
J
back to
Carr.
that.
So
Yeah.
J Carr was there, and it was like all like us three in there with like some
Misak as well.
Misak too, right? So Misak was there as well. And and then I remember like it got to the point where they were starting to like they were getting big, and then they were kind of letting members hop in on their videos, and Dave and myself hopped in on a couple of them, and we were doing videos with them, with
It wasn't
BZ.
a couple of them, like it was weekly.
It was weekly, yeah.
We
We're
would
hopping
do
in
a
weekly.
lot of
Well,
them.
yeah, because it was just kind of like, like Dave and myself kind of had our own backgrounds in like doing that kind of shit, right? So we were just hopping in, and then those guys on BZ were like, well, hey, those guys know their shit and they're fun to bring on. Let's just keep doing it. Because like I remember like we would get text like, hey, are you gonna hop on, or hey, are you gonna hop on with us and do the show with us? And schedule permitting, like I'd hop on or Dave would hop on. And I remember the one where you hopped on and someone like gave a $100 super chat for you to take your shirt off, and you were shirtless the whole stream.
And well, again, there's an origin story to the After Dark, because that was, again, Justin, who you mentioned,
Yeah.
he would run a show called the After Dark. It was like 10, 11 o'clock Eastern time, so our time zone. So it was actually late. And because I was a shift worker back then, so there was days that, I'd come home at like 10, 11 o'clock and like jump on a show, because that's when it started. So that was the original After Dark, was kind of me, Dash, Justin, and like a couple of the other guys. Misak might have, probably not at that time zone, but anyways, we would just, it was this style of show. So this is kind of like the spiritual successor of it, in a sense, going back to our origin stories.
Yeah, it's funny because they did that once, and then like they never did it again.
There's a couple. After that, it kind of got shut down because I guess taking your shirt off for money on YouTube is against terms and conditions. It got cut out from the video.
Take that shirt off. What?
He did. Somebody on
got injured and fat, so I was like much better.
He was yoked. Like it was funny because someone's like $100, and I bet you Dave doesn't take his shirt off, and Dave's like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And then just
I've gotten naked for less.
and then it was I think it was like the summer of 22, right? Because we were doing it and stuff like that, and then you kind of stepped away from the channel, and I was still kind of like talking and doing stuff, and then you reached out to me, I want to say in July or August.
It was end of August. So it was in preparation for the start of the season, essentially.
Yeah, and I remember too, like I remember the messengers like, "Hey man, like I don't want to come across as me like poaching you from them." I was like, "Here's what I'm doing. Do you want to help me out on this? And do you want in on this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, fuck it, why not?" Because like I'm like sitting there, I'm like, "Dave, you're not poaching me. They're not paying me to do any. Like they're not paying me for this. It's like it's the opposite. I'm paying them."
There's allegiances and stuff. Well, basically, I mean, you should caveat, if we're gonna spill the beans, we're gonna spill the beans. The reason why we were allowed to speak on that channel in the first place was because we were channel members, and part of the membership you paid for was the ability to talk on the channel. But it wasn't like, oh, once in a while, hey, come on, have some fun. It was turning into Julian just had a kid, Justin has like 2 jobs. It's just me in my mother's basement. I can't do it all. I need help. And me and Dash were just on it constantly. It became a regular thing, but we had no creative control. We had nothing. It was just, we were basically told what we were going to talk about, and we just sat there and talked about it. And his production quality was like, he just had us cropped all like, it was like our faces, and it wasn't the greatest, right? So we got a little bit fed. It was still fun. I guess we
it was fun
much with it. But then another opportunity came up. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one of the things that this is how I started getting into it. Like, how did you start Dash? Was it YouTube or was it podcast?
For me, when I got to Juve content?
Yeah.
it was more so just like I was originally like I'm gonna be honest with you. I was listening to IFTV back in like 2018, 2019. Guilty. But then it was just like I was looking for more Juve centered stuff. And then I stumbled upon Beppe, and then like the Locatelli video popped off, which then moved me over because, like again, like all respect to Beppe, but the videos that he was it was getting to the point where I was just getting fatigued. Like I was honestly getting fatigued.
Just regurgitating the news kind of
Yeah,
idea.
it's just I was regurgitating the news, and I'm just kind of like I needed something where it was like a little bit more of an entertainment factor. So then I stumbled on BZ, and that's kind of there. You stumbled on things way more differently than I did. For me, it was just kind of like recommended, click, watch, whatever. Because it was COVID, there was nothing we could do at the time, so it was just watching YouTube videos just to pass the time while I was playing Call of Duty when I was playing the original Warzone.
Okay. Yeah, see, and there's times during COVID where I was working, when I wasn't working. I was pretty consistent with just listening to podcasts on the way to work, walking the dogs, whatever. And same thing, I was listening at the time to On the Continent from stupid work phone. You can shut up.
It wasn't mine this time. Yes.
I thought I shut it off too. I put it stupid. Like I said, stupid. Anyways, yeah, On the Continent, Andy Brassel, Nicky Bandini, those guys. But it was just so like British centric. I'm like, no, I need something else. That's when I started looking around, and I found all Juve cast. I found Turin Giants, the Cultural Podcast, which is now the Bordello Sam Adamo. There's these other guys like the Cultural Guys. There was actually quite a bit at the time. Some of them ranged from like, Sam, who was like 17 at the time, just talking about soccer, football, whatever. To obviously productions like Berto, who was pretty decent still at that time in his earlier years with it, and it just kind of grew from there. Berto obviously made a YouTube channel. Actually, Beppe never even got into my algorithm at all.
That's interesting.
It is interesting because it went from Berto AJC to, from there, BZ popped up, and I started following them. And again, same thing, Justin, because of that personality. It's like, oh, it's fun, entertaining. So I locked in with those guys, with those three channels, essentially. Turn Giants, all Juve cast, now AJC, because, I can't use Juve in the name, and Gameplay Arizona. Now, there was a point in time where Turn Giants did the whole shout out of who would like to help us run a YouTube channel, kick off the YouTube side of things. I was like, that sounds like a project I'd had fun doing. I wouldn't mind doing that. And the whole idea was he was gonna, the guy that runs it, was gonna help me get names, co-host people to do a show with, so it wasn't just me, like Beppe back then, just rhyming off the news. Like everyone was already doing that. That was like the state of affairs of the Juve channels at the time. I'm just gonna come on the camera and I'm gonna run off. We even did it for a while where we just like start doing news things, and it sucked. It absolutely sucked. So we wanted to obviously do something different at that time, and I told Farhad, yeah, sure, I'll do it. The first week, he actually got Sam Adamo for me, and that was our first episode. It was great. And then it was like, do you have anybody else for me? Like, you have this huge social media following. Like, people. Could you get me people? Nothing. So that's when I texted Dash. I was like, hey, buddy, I need some help.
All right, let's do it.
And like you said, I was kind of hesitant about it, and I was going to message you earlier, but I waited to get a little bit more desperate. And and then you're like, yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm just like, okay.
That's easy.
And then, yeah, it literally started from that point on. But it was about a year or so later, we continue doing our thing. We get to the point where, again, because of creative control and creative differences and whatnot, the fact that it wasn't our own brand, but we were doing the lion's share of the work. Again, same kind of sentiment with BZ. Like, if we're going to put the work in, we should reap the benefits of that work, because it takes a lot of fucking time. We have full-time jobs and we still got to do this. So we decided to go our own way, and it was a little rocky. It went from D&D Sports, Double D show, D&D Sports. This is now actually where German Dave comes in to the story as we start to transition. Dave, you jump in. Tell us from there.
For me, it was, I think, a year. I think it was around a year
Yeah, it was like
before you
February, March.
guys before you guys split from the Turin Giants umbrella. Was when I was looking for Juventus content in English because I just couldn't find anything. And to get in-depth news and all of that stuff, like you can't rely on German media. Like everything we get from is from like sources from Sky Italia, from Gianluca Di Marzio, but there's not like in-depth analysis, you know. And to learn a team, in my opinion, I need something like that is like English is still like second language to me, but I understand like everything. Like it's not like I have a language barrier understanding English couple of times. I'm looking forwards or searching forwards in order to say something. But yeah, so I was looking just for an English Juventus channel, and honestly, I didn't even look that heavy into it because I didn't spend enough time on it, but I don't know, like a couple of weeks later, the algorithm on YouTube just showed me G Just Juve. And I watched that for a couple of weeks, and it was getting a bit stale, reading the newspaper, like not actually telling a lot of stuff. And like the news articles, and I think you guys can attest to that, never meant anything. Like there was never anything like productive or with
Rumors.
yeah, it's all rumors and all of that stuff. And yeah, then a couple of times I watched his channel where he wore, ironically, it was because of the merch, Turin Giants merch,
Yeah.
and he shouted the YouTube channel. I don't remember whether the YouTube channel or the podcast. I don't remember
I think,
that
I think it was the YouTube.
YouTube.
in
I
depth.
think it was in general.
Yeah.
And that's how I found you guys. And I listened to a couple of episodes, and I thought, who the fuck is that fart guy, and what is he talking about football?
Yeah, because
Because
he did tell me about.
honestly, the only intelligent conversation about football were Dave and Dash. And
Mostly Dash, I would say.
no,
There for
but
the Dutch.
you were there, you were talking, you were still the level-headed guy that was commenting on stuff, right? And Farhad was just ringing that goddamn bell that is still in my head, and never gave like actual context to anything, right? Like he was just giving his opinions, but never explained something. So I was thinking, oh, I don't know, do I want to listen to that? And then sometime you mentioned that you're doing Juventus commentary on Twitch, like the live watch-alongs on Juventus Twitch channel. And that's when I turned in to the Twitch channel. I'd listen to you guys, and I say, "Hey, this is way more informative and intelligent than listening to the Turin Giants podcast, where you have a goddamn anchor on your leg that is holding the conversation up, right?" And yeah, but still, like I wanted to support them. There was in almost every Twitch watch along, and they remember me. They called me German Dave back at that time already.
Oh, really? It goes
Uh,
back. I couldn't even remember.
yeah,
No, yeah, because I remember it too. Because he's like, "Yeah, I'm in Germany." I'm like, "Oh, we've got a German Dave."
yeah,
There you go. That's where it started.
and no, and it started out me being in the chat all of the time, and then
Yeah.
Fraud was never there on YouTube anyways, except for when it was a podcast episode. I don't know, that was recorded in video or something like that. But yeah, it was you guys that I watched, and you remember, like I was there in the chat that whole time. Like honestly, I think I was there around the time where Vlad and those guys and Jeff and where all of us accumulated this at the same time, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because all those guys
Yeah.
still talk on the except for Vlad. Vlad's gone somewhere because Rabiot no
He,
longer plays for Juve. But
he's going to the Shadowrun for 2 months, then he returns for on a random, I don't know, on a random watch along versus Genoa or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he disappears again. Um And I was there in the chat all the time, and then we talked in depth about, or not in depth immediately, but more so. Dave and Dash asked me a couple of questions because I have a degree in law, and it had to do with the split and merge and all of that stuff because yeah, I don't know. Should I go into all of that? Because Farhad essentially was selling merch in Europe with the image of Andrea Pirlo without having image rights to it. So, yeah,
the legality of some of the things.
yeah,
Is
especially
not
in
equal.
Europe. But let's forget that. Um, yeah, and I was there and tried to help the guys because I said, honestly, that guy is holding you up. You two are more entertaining, and yeah, he's holding you up basically. And you can be way better without him if you do your own thing, if you have your own concepts, if you do your own thumbnails, and if you have basically the production in your own head.
That was a big
And
thing. You mentioned the thumbnails because there was always a fight about my thumbnails.
yeah. And
You can never.
then, after that was done, Dave and Dash asked me whether I want to join the channel, and I was scared as shit because I never talked English in public. Like, except for in school or in university or something like that, I never needed my English in public before. And I wasn't there in my current job where I need it sometimes, because if you have a CEO of a company that is speaking English, I need that as well now. But beforehand, I didn't need it, man, and I was scared. Like, my writing in English was always fluent because
Mhm.
I learned English very well in school, but it's something else when you have to speak it and,
Oh,
Oh
be there in
yeah,
the conversation, like,
absolutely.
for a second. It's like it's second language to me, and that is hard, man.
But
oh
I mean,
yeah.
you're
But
getting so much better at it too, though, right?
I
It's
know we forced him to grow rapidly.
no, but it just happens, right? The more you do something, the better it gets as well.
Yeah.
Um, no, and I said, hell yeah, man, I would love to do it. Like, it's funny how things turn out. Like, I was was looking for a Juventus channel, and all of a sudden I'm on one
Word.
one
I'm part of
on
one
my
of
own,
these.
man.
Just like
Well,
that.
No,
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
and it's interesting because like from our end, right? Because like so Dave and myself were like talking, and I'm like, dude, we need a third seat. Like we're talking about it because like for example, Dave and it was more so ironical. It was me that got busy and not Canadian Dave.
Oh, I had my moments too. It's because I knew I was going away for work, and I'm always subject to go away for work. So it's like it's hard just for one person kind of run this, and just from a production standpoint, it gets kind of stale when it's just one guy. So I wanted to have that third person in. It's just to give us that flexibility, that
Yeah, the
the ability
flexibility.
just to do more.
And then again, it's not always just Dave and Dash. Oh my gosh. Like it's just with three people, you can generally have a better conversation. And like we're sitting there and we're looking at it, and we're just like, and I think you and I just kind of came to terms one night. We're just like, why don't we just ask German Dave?
It was the
'Cause-
same thing as like when I asked you. It was like, hey, what do you think of this? And you're just like, yeah.
yep,
It's like, okay, okay. I guess
Yeah,
so. We're gonna
because
do it.
because like I had German Dave in the back of my mind, and then Canadian Dave had German Dave in the back of his mind. He was just like, hey, what if we just ask German Dave to hop on? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Because like
That's it.
because like I remember when we were asked for Lucas, and I was just kind of like, no, no, that
If
was
anybody watched us with Turn Giants, and that was the thing, is that he would just bring random people on, and
oh
sometimes
my
we
god,
were one
man,
of the random people. Let's be honest, we kind of were.
yeah.
Even when I brought on Dash, he asked me like, "Who the hell's this Dash guy?" I said, don't worry about it. After a couple weeks, I think he was finally convinced that you knew what the fuck you were talking about.
and it took a couple of weeks. That's the funny thing.
But yeah, then he brought on this guy Lucas one time. And he was a travesty. He couldn't even like it's one thing if we have like a call-in show and somebody's like they're not set up, right? They're on their laptop, their camera's kind of tilted a little bit. When you're part of the show, I shouldn't be looking at your fucking gut because your laptop lid is like tilted down and you're using your webcam. You know? Like that was just part of it. But then his takes were just it was just some dude with an opinion with no supporting evidence, no insights, no like posing of further deeper questions, tactical, nothing. There was just nothing. He was just some fucking dude that watched Juve on the weekends, and we let him talk here and there for reasons.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly,
not for
couple.
everyone. It's not for everyone.
I don't want to trash too hard, but when I don't even remember the Lucas guy, honestly.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know.
he's very
But that
forgettable.
what was that before I watched or
I
Probably.
before
think
I
it
was?
might have been before. I think it was before.
Oh, okay. No, but dude, sometimes when I listen to Farad's commentary on some stuff, right? Um, like I'm going to with my father to the stadium all the time, right? I get free tickets, so I have my season ticket, but I get free tickets because yeah, I'm working for the damn team, so why not? And I take my father with me, and my father is one of those fans that is sitting there the whole game like that, you know.
Mhm.
And you have the ball, and you know, Dash, when you have a corner, right? You are the team that has a corner.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do when you don't have control? You pass it back, right? Because you want to stretch the field again. You want to pull the defense apart and build up again.
Yeah.
My father is one of those that say, "Well, why do you pass it back? Why to the goalkeeper?" And blah blah blah. Oh my god! And I'm always trying to explain to him that's how football works here. You're passing it back to try to lure the defensive backline back, like forward, and pass it behind the lines and use the channels and blah 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 blah. No, don't pass it to the goalkeeper always. And goddamn, sorry, but his opinions are like dumb, like those, like completely
He was just
unfounded.
dad. If you're gonna
Like
like explain him in one word, he's like just
Yeah,
dad.
it's just a
dude,
soccer dad.
he was doing like specific topics in his podcast and not doing the
Oh, like
research for it.
yeah,
I will never forget that Lichtsteiner, man.
like yes, with the
I will never forget that.
I'm trying to remember the context of that whole episode, but yeah, Lichtsteiner and the stat there was a certain stat that he just completely fucked up. He didn't do any
Yeah,
of his homework.
he omitted half his Switzerland career as well, where when he mentioned how many games played, and dude, there was a lot of stuff wrong. And yeah, that's why I didn't like that guy. And I said, yeah, guys, you need to make your own thing because that guy does know what he's talking about, and you guys do. So
And here's the thing: this is where we get into like the life lesson segment here, I guess, as a cherry on top of all of it. If you're gonna be in charge of something and you don't know what the fuck's really going on, just manage people. That's all you need the guy at the top to do is manage the people. It's okay if you don't know what's going on. Most CEOs of these Fortune 500 companies
I
don't know
have
what the
no
fuck their
fucking
product is that
idea.
they're making.
They're just there.
Yeah, so again, speaking from actual like, the corporate world here, with me, with the team that I manage, right? Do I know the ins and outs of everything to a specific detail? No, I don't. I know I know a 5,000 foot level. Like I understand that. Like I understand what's going on. But at the end of the day, I put trust in my team.
And give them the
Like,
resources to
yeah,
do well.
when I have my weekly meeting with my team, I sit there and I say, "Hey guys, is there any political red tape? Is there any red tape? Is there any kind of administrative stuff I can help you guys get through?"
That's a big question in America these days, eh? Is there
That
political
is
red tape?
that is a very big question nowadays. But no,
Yeah.
but like that's for me. Like for example, for me, it's just like, what can I do to get you to do your job, right? Like, what can I provide? What can I help with? Whether
That's how
it's me,
management works.
whether it's me sitting down with you 30 minutes every day at lunch and just shooting the shit, I'm fine with it because that I can get you to your optimal headspace. I can get you to your optimal level of performance. For me, my job is two things. One, hitting the target that my bosses have given me, and two, making sure that my team is optimized to perform at their peaks. Whether it's me being their therapist or whether it's me giving them high fives, fuck it, I don't give a shit. But if I can get the best out of you, with something that's within my power, I'm going to do it. Because for me, it's not going in there. And this is where a lot of people fuck up as a leader and a manager. You do not need to go into the weeds with your team all the fucking time, because then that destroys their confidence. Because they're like,
It's just micromanaging.
yeah, it's micromanaging. One of the most toxic things as a leader that you can do is micromanage. Because then it destroys faith in your team and the faith that your team has in you, because they're like, oh well, fuck, man, like what's the point of me even trying if Dash is going to come in here and do this, this, and this? Where it's like a different thing is like, hey Tim, like, hey, I see that you're struggling. Is there something I can help you with? Is there something I can do? No, Dash, it's fine. I got this. Don't worry. All right, I'll take a step back. But then I'll re-engage if it's not progressing or if it's not changing. Versus, oh, Tim, this looks fucked up. Let me go in here and do this real quick. No, because like, for example, with me, I'm managing people that are my age. I'm managing people that are older than me. And I'm managing people that have 20, 30 years in the field. So for example, me, if I were to go to that person, that 30-year vet, and I go to him and say, oh, no, you need to do this, like this, 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 and this. He'll look at me and be like, bro, I've been doing this since you were a sperm in your dad's nutsack. Like, chill the fuck out. Right. So for me, I need to understand where it's like, hey, so and so, or hey, I'm just going to use a name, Phil. How's work going? Oh, great. Awesome. Is there anything I can do to help you with some of the stuff that you're working on? Or is there anything I can provide you to do, or any kind of questions I can answer from an administrative standpoint? No? All right, cool, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing for me. Like that's one of those things where I look at different leaders and I look at different managers. And that's where, like, for example, where leaders and managers are successful are the ones that trust their team. Trust me, for me, it was a lesson to learn. It was tough because I was coming in as, I was Batman in a sense where I was the guy they called when shit got fucked up. I was the investigator that got called when there was some douchebag corporate pricks that needed to get checked. They called me. I had a reputation in the field where Dash is this serious, no balls, no fucking sense of humor, this fucking machine, hyper lethal analyst guy that goes in there and just
Well, you are, right?
headhunter. Fair enough. Like and I came off of this headhunter because, again, and I talked about this in the last After Dark, I was very isolated as a human being because for me, I always had this chip on my shoulder where I needed to prove something, I needed to be something, and I needed to do this. And without realizing it, I put away that communicative, that warm, squishy side of me away. God, that's such a weird term, but where it's like now looking at it through life experiences and certain things like that, and now having a team that I'm responsible for and people that I'm responsible for, I can't do that lone wolf shit anymore. It's not going to work. I can do it, but I'm going to exhaust the fuck out of myself where I have other resources and other people that I can work with and I can believe in, because nothing is more powerful than the hope that you give someone when you tell them that, hey, you got this, you can do this. Because
go ahead. It's ownership. That's just the term, just ownership. You let your employees own themselves, own their work.
Exactly.
Empowers them.
And that's where you can bring it out. Whereas if you're somebody that is in it for their ego more so than like in it to develop or to move people forward, because there's managers that are in it for ego, whether it's, podcast managers or other managers, whatever, where they have to have like this sense of, and this is for me, one of the biggest things that pisses me off the most is the statement, I'm a humble guy. No, you're not. Shut the fuck up.
Just saying it.
No, it's not even that, but it's just like, I mean it in general, because I've heard that term so many fucking times, and the people that say it are the scum of the earth. Like, I'm sorry, but it's the truth, because if you are generally a virtuous human being, if you're a humble person, you don't need to say that. Oh, I'm a humble guy. I want the best for you. Blah, blah, blah. No, you don't need to say that. You do that. You act on that.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, in my perspective, some of the most crappiest people I've put away are people that come in with this persona. Oh, I'm a humble guy. No, there's people that downplay themselves. Like, for example, me, I was notoriously bad at doing that, where people would be like, holy fuck, did you hear about Dash doing this? And I'm just like, oh, come on, man. It's just, it's not a big deal. Right. That's different. Versus, oh yeah, no, I'm a humble person. I'm this and that and yada yada yada. No humble person ever fucking says that. The only time that you'll actually see the traits of a humble person is, hey Dave, you did fucking phenomenal on that, man. You like saved my ass on it. And you're like, oh no, don't worry about it, man. It's just no biggie. I got you. That's a humble person. But if you have to sit there and express it, no. And that's where I get irritated, because I've gone up against different managers. I've gone up against C-suite people. I've gone up against the whole fucking plethora of corporate trash. And it's like, and I've seen it all. And it's like, I look at it, and for me, the people that piss me off the most and that irk the living hell out of me is two types of people. I'm a micromanager because I'm insecure about myself, and the humble douchebag. Those are the two tropes that piss me the most off as a human being, because one of them is I need power because of insecurity. I am not good myself, and I did not earn to where I am at. And I'm going, I have this pent up rage and frustration that I'm going to take out on all the other people because I don't want to be challenged. I don't want to be questioned because my insecurity bleeds out. That is
The
one.
classic example is that asshole cop that's going to give you a ticket for 5 over.
Yeah.
Power trip.
It's the power tripping people. The second one is the nice guy or the humble guy. They go hand in hand because those people have this persona, right? Like they have this persona that like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm not a bad person, no. But they are the most spiteful individuals you will ever meet in life. Spiteful than a motherfucker, because they give you that humble persona when you come in because they think that they're better than you.
Backhanded.
Yes, they think that they're better than you. And when someone thinks that they're better than you, they're going to present that face to themselves. They're going to present that sign. Oh, it's like whatever. The moment you start climbing and you get to their level and you go above them, backhanded compliments come in, passive aggressiveness come in, a bunch of other things behind the scenes where then they start actively working to sabotage you in a sense. That's why I hate those people equally as much as those. And I think, to be honest with you, those people are more dastardly cunning because, like, for example, let's go to the nice guy. Let's talk about the nice guy here. The nice guy, right? You're a girl, and this guy's like, oh, I'm a nice guy, and yada, yada, yada. Truth be told, that nice guy behind the mask is one of the most spiteful men you will ever date in your life. Insecure, not all of it. An asshole, terrible human being, selfish, a narcissist, all of it. Why? But no girl likes me. I'm a nice guy, and yada, yada, yada. And then the moment they get the girl, they get a young, impressionable girl or an impressionable human being because they don't know enough or have enough life experiences, then becomes the whole, oh, you're this, or you need to be this, or they become the control freak and they like to control the situation because, again, fake humble people, fake nice people, they have a sense of control. They need a sense of control. The moment they lose that sense of control, you see their true face. And you see, and in theory, that's a narcissist, right? And that's where I look at it, and it's just like I can't stand those people. Like I genuinely cannot. And for me, from a sense of personal development, I was almost at the sense where, for me, if it wasn't for my mentor that reached out to me 7-8 years ago, I might have been one of those fake humble / nice guy people. Because it was just like I was getting to the point where when I met him, and this guy is kind of like and he's not a Ra's al Ghul, but he's like a Jiraiya for me. Like he taught me everything that I know. It was interesting because at that point, it was 8 years ago, roughly 8 years ago, where I lost everything. Like I made a colossal mistake and it fucked everything up. And I was starting to become spiteful from it because I was starting to become that, "Man, what the fuck's the point of trying if I'm just going to keep getting fucked over like this?" Right? Because I was a naive person at the time. I wasn't a nice person, but I was naive. And a lot of things, like, for example, and it's interesting because there was two sides of Dash at that point, right? There was a nice, really fun, outgoing Dash, but then again, there's that cold machine, hyper lethal Dash that focused on the job and the job only. And he kind of brought me in at that point and picked me and mentored me and kind of taught me the happy medium between the two. And he was one of those guys where, his track record with the stuff that he's done and the things that he's accomplished, it's like, holy fuck, man. And for me now as an adult looking back on it, that moment when I ran into him, whether it was fate or an act of God from above, was the right person at the right time to get me to where I am right now, which I'm super thankful for. I don't think he watches this stuff, but him and I talk all the time. Even though we don't work together anymore, we still chat and we always talk 3-4 times a week. But besides the point, though, like, looking at it from that perspective, it's just the one thing I want to get with you guys here, and I'm like running out of words to say, is do things to the benefit of other people. Be genuine about your benefit to other people. Because, like, the worst thing that you can do is say that I'm doing this out of your benefit, but in reality, it's just because you have control over this person because they don't know any better. And,
Yeah,
and
if
that's
somebody's saying that they're doing it for you, they're doing it for themselves.
yeah, absolutely.
Straight up.
But man, I got into a hell of a rant. Damn.
Yeah, you did.
I got fired
I know
up.
we didn't let Dave talk at all during the origin story because he wasn't really.
He
in the
wasn't
origin.
there.
No, I wasn't there. I'm the new guy, man.
He's just tossing his hair. You know?
Yeah, I'm just here playing around with me, you know. But goddamn, it's looking good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But and I mean though, like again, the mantra I think that people should really do again is strive on to strive on to be better people and just better for your community. Because like at the end of the day, and you know, and I learned this, right? Where it's just like, Dash, you could have all the success, all the accomplishments in the world, but what have you really left behind? Right? Because especially from a man, like a man's perspective, because I don't have a vagina and I'm not a girl. But like looking at it from a guy's perspective, like the one of the two successful things you can do as a man, right? One, have offspring so you can continue your bloodline. That's one thing, right? The second thing is provide something that you can pass on. I think that is huge because whether it's a skill, a methodology, hopefully it's for the good, not for the bad. Um, even like, for example, and I'm going to tie this to the Dark Knight. German Dave's going to love this, but even being as reassuring to someone saying that, hey, world's not going to end. World's going to be okay, right? Where you can put a coat over a young boy's
That's right.
shoulders, telling
That's
him that.
my guy.
So it's like looking at it from that perspective, right? And I think that's what's huge, right? Because like I'm a big proponent of butterfly effects because and it's coming back because like for example, despite with all the stuff I've done over the past couple of years, like all the seriousness, I still prioritized helping and helping people and working with people. And it's like I look at it now, where now all of that is coming around, where it's just like certain things that I've been working on or certain tasks that I've been, you know, struggling with or certain things, even in my personal life. People that I've helped 7, 8 years ago are coming around like, "Hey, Dash, I hear you're in like, hey, let us help you. I hear you're in trouble. We got you. Hey, Dash, your foot's fucked up. We got you." Right? So it's all of that, and that's why I'm a huge proponent of like the butterfly effect. Because in my and just like Christopher Nolan did it for the Batman trilogy, and my thoughts the same thing. You don't need to be super smart, super strong, or this person to be a hero or to have an impact on someone's life. It is something as simple as saying, "Hey, man, I know you're struggling. I got you when you need me." Something as reassuring as that can cause a huge effect later down the road. So that's why I kind of want to leave it with you guys and kind of just focus in on that where it's just like, don't be afraid to reach out or help people. Like it's not about you. It never is and it never will be. It's always about the people around you.
The great thing about that is that if you ingratiate yourself with others, that all comes around.
Yeah, it does.
You won't be on an island by yourself, wondering why you have no friends and you hate your life.
Because the worst thing you can do is not be remembered when you pass on.
If that's what you care, not everyone actually cares.
Damn, I got really deep. Holy shit.
Oh boy, Dave, do you have anything to even add to that? Some German wisdom?
Welcome
Some
to my
old, like,
TikTok.
anything your
No,
game
honestly,
said back in the day?
that young man said everything that, yeah, there is to
Young
be
man.
said, honestly.
Young man, you're so adorable.
Love you, brother.
Oh,
Love you, brother.
man.
I love
No,
you guys
but
for it.
if try to impact other people's lives, but in a positive way. Sorry, should have prefaced that.
Disclaimer. We do things in positive ways, not negative
Yeah.
ways.
No, try to be there for people. Be a what did we call it? Not a nice person. Be a be
A
a
kind, a
kind
kind,
a kind
Kind,
person.
yes.
Thank you.
virtuous person.
Be kind to the people around you. Be kind to your family, to your friends, and there are people out there that don't have families, right? So maybe at some point you will find the person that will be there looking out for you, right? Like whether it is as a friend, as a partner, male or female, or whatever the case may be. You will find people that you can or that will put their arms around you, but you have to do the same. Like it's not a one way ticket. Like being kind to people will open doors to you. It will open friendships for you. It will open a whole plethora of advantages, but not advantages in a calculated way, but just your life experience will be nicer if you have the right people around you that you surround yourself with. It,
Yeah.
if you have the let's say, look, for myself, right now I'm working like 10 to 12 hours a day. The last 2 weeks, 12 hours because of contracts, footy, sponsorships, new kid partner for the team, and blah blah blah. Like, we're doing so much stuff right now. If I hadn't had my lady around myself, if I didn't have friends and family around me, if I didn't have this outlet, honestly, this is giving me, like, on the evenings where my lady's already asleep, or my friends are already asleep, I
And nobody
usually
wants
would
to
be,
talk to you.
yeah, no, yeah. No, and I'm here. And before this, I was already. I always was a night person. I was always staying up late. But this is giving me an outlet, and I'm happy to call you guys my friends, because that is how
We're getting
how
like
how it
really
grew
emotional.
You know.
together for me. No, and this is an outlet for me where I can spend time, where I get away from my everyday life and work and gym, and trying to juggle, like, and full-time study, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Like, juggling all of that for the whole day, and honestly, for years to come, until I finish my sports management degree and can actually climb the ladder. So, yeah, surround yourself with the right people that will spend time with you, that can also take you out of your everyday life, that you have can that you can have a nice time with them. Just,
Yeah, and
yeah,
and to further it, right? Because like for example, those people can then become your extended family, right? So like I had
yes,
this conversation with Agustio on Discord, and it's there if anyone wants to see it, right? Where he kind of asked me like and this was an interesting question. Like I really liked it, so I'm just gonna pull it up real quickly here. Because I actually liked it. Where it was right, so here it is. Because him and I were talking about, because we're the same nationality, and I kind of talked about like where I came in, and speaking of origin stories, right? Um, so he kind of asked me about like me going back and not going back and whatnot, and things like that. And I kind of told him, and I said, it's interesting growing up, being Gen Zero essentially, or moving here and growing up, because like for me, all my family lives over there. I don't have any family in the United States. And my parents, again, back then, to make ends meet, they worked 12 to 14 hours a day. So I never saw my parents growing up, and didn't have family. I didn't have anything. I used to hang out. My mom worked at a restaurant. She was a dishwasher when she first immigrated to the US. I was in the basement of a restaurant playing with pickle spear buckets and like like cardboard, making cardboard houses out of. And I remember I accidentally sliced my chin with a razor blade trying to cut cardboard boxes to make like a fort. And that was for me, like, and and again, this is, I have not shared this with anybody. This is something that I always kind of kept to myself, but I had trouble speaking growing up. I did not talk until I was 5 years old. And people
mm,
thought that I might have had a mental illness or something like that, or something like that. And ironically, right, I can't shut the fuck up now. But I had trouble speaking because I was always alone. And growing into it, right, like going into grade school and everything like that, I was the only Albanian with a weird name, and it was the early 2000s, post 9/11, and I was just subject to isolationism from people. Like, I just never fit in because, it was a different culture. I never hung out with anybody. Like, I would go to school and then I would go home and I would just sit at home and I would just watch cartoons all day and I would just be by myself. And I kinda grew up like that until, like, I started kind of being a little bit more social in high school, but I was very, very quiet and very, very shut off from people. And that's where, again, where I was talking last week, where I had that subconscious wall because at the same time, my parents were afraid to let me socialize with other people because, again, you're immigrant parents and you don't know anything about this place. You don't know anyone there. You don't know if someone's going to hurt me or not, or yada, yada, yada. And it was interesting because I didn't meet other Albanians until I was 19/20 years old. So he asked me the question. He's like, "Do you feel more American or do you feel Albanian?" Like, he's like, Where's your head at?" And I kind of told him initially, for me, I felt more American because I was raised in the United States with a blue collar city. Like, that's what it was. The city I grew up in was blue collar steel worker slash factory worker tradespeople. And that's kind of the culture that I picked up. It was that. And again, more of a Hispanic culture. Because my neighbors were Puerto Rican and Mexican, and we lived in not the best living conditions back then because again it's kind of the old school American dream, but it's not like I lived in Detroit and fought for my life every day. But I didn't realize that going through the motions where I do now, where all of that kind of put those barriers of socialization or communication in my head that I didn't realize I had. So then when I went into college, I had a hard time communicating with other people. It just like I was kind of shut off and I was kind of as a closed off person. And then when I finally met other Albanians, I was rejected by them because I wasn't Albanian enough. Because it was like I didn't really listen into the music. I wasn't really into the culture. I didn't do X, Y, and Z because I didn't have internet at home until I was a senior in high school. So like, how was I going to listen to that music or that culture or anything like that? Because like my parents were like, you need to study, you need to do this and yada yada yada. And when I met like actual other Albanians that all knew each other, there was a community and they all hung out with each other. I was ostracized because I was told that I was whitewashed. So I kind of had this like negative chip on my shoulder going through college where it's just like nobody accepts me, nobody wants me, and yada yada yada. I had this negative thing where for me then it was you know, I was playing soccer and that's where I kind of bonded with the Hispanic community or the Latino community or the South American or whatever the hell you want to call it, right? The Latin community. Where it was easier for me because, they were just kind of like, hey, we came into the States too to have a better life. You did the same exact thing. We both play footy. We talk footy. Let's hang out. And I did. And ironically, and I'll shout him out, Reyes. His name is Reyes. I would not have my career if it was not for him. Because I didn't have any contacts. It was hard for me to get an internship to start my career in college. And him and I were playing, we worked at the bookstore in college, and him and I were playing soccer all the time together. And he ended up getting a job of where I used to work before I went to where I am now. And he was like, "Hey, they're looking for more interns. Do you want to do this?" And I'm looking at him like, "Fuck yeah, dude." Because like, again, I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know how the system worked, how to apply for co-ops or internships or anything like that. Because again, it's my first rodeo. I had no idea how things worked. And
How
he
old
then,
were you back then?
I was 19, 20 years old at that time. So, and then, he had a friend that was in HR and they took my application. I was just saw, hey, like, because the issue that I always had was because I was so quiet or so isolated, I didn't know how to sell myself. And because I didn't know how to sell myself, I built this negative image of myself as not being good enough, not being adequate, not being anything, right? And it was just this negative snowball effect that like even rolled with me even once I started my career. And then it didn't really hit me until 7, 8 months ago. Once I started slowing down and looking behind me, I'm like, fuck, I've actually done all this. And it's like, and it's interesting because I was kind of going back to the conversation that I had with him was for me to find that internal peace between, me growing up in the US and me being an Albanian, it took a lot of inside work to kind of yes, I'm an Albanian, but at the same time, I also grew up in the United States, and that's also a part of me because when I was rejected by the Albanian community when I was younger, I had this caustic feeling, this negative feeling towards them. I don't want to be associated with it. Don't even call me that. I'm not them. They're savages. They're this. They're that. I was just really, really angry at the time, but I just didn't know how to process it because for me, it was just kind of like I was used to being rejected or shut out by society, where it was just like, you know what, fuck them. I don't need them, right? Where then my journey was me essentially assimilating myself into society, into groups and stuff like that, where then I was able to go back and make peace with the stuff that I shut out originally. And the last thing that I needed to do and like the last struggle that I had to take care of, and it's still a work in progress, was because I was always in that survival mode, and that I was always in fight or flight. I was always in a survival instinct, and I needed to like had this chip on my shoulder where now it's like, dude, you have everything. You've got it all. Chill, right? And now it's kind of transitioning from that necessity or that survival mode to that thriving mode. And that's again forcing some internal shadow work and internal deep work to kind of sit there and be like, dude, you don't have to fight anymore, man. You're
Yeah,
him.
you broke your Achilles. You're forced to do it. Now you
I
got to
know, right?
fucking chill.
Yeah.
You just sit down.
Well, and
Talk
I
about
think
your life.
yeah, and I think ironically, right? And I think the Achilles injury, and here I got to show you guys a feet pic here, but I did get progressed into a boot, so we're going in the right direction here. So there's your feet finders for the day. Prior to this, I was playing 4 to 5 times a week, and I was kind of pushing myself to be better, to kind of get myself into the thing because it was just and I was at that point like 7, 8 months or shit, it was like October of last year where I was like sitting there and I'm like, I feel like I was missing something, but I didn't realize that the thing that I was missing, I thought that if I chased it more, if I got it more, I would fill that hole. Where in reality, that hole that needed to get filled was just me being okay. I'm like, hey, I got this. I'm good. So ironically, my foot got injured because I was playing 4 or 5 times a week. I'm playing in the form of my life. I don't want to lose this. I need to, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then my body is just kind of like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Right. So ironically, it is a sign from above or whatever deity that you guys want to believe with, or the force, where it's like, hey, dude, chill. You're good. Bam. Moral of the story.
Bam. You good?
I'm fantastic.
Jesus Christ. You have you been locked up in your basement?
No.
It's like we let him out of his cage tonight.
Yeah, no, but we love those stories, right? Why not try to pass it on to other people?
And the reason
Who
why I
who
wanted
who who knows who will hear this, right? Maybe somebody needs
yeah.
that inspiration or to rattle the cage a bit and or make other people wake up who are not there yet mentally at that stage, but it may help
Then
somebody, why
I
not?
can see Primo Culture coming on. I was like, stop being a bunch of pussies.
Hey, no, I mean it's not like I need my safe space. It's like, hey man, there's like some live issues that people are dealing with, and it's more so taking the steps to overcome them and be better people. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I like sharing these, because it's like, some people are kind of like, well, why share your struggles or yada yada yada. And it's like, no, you need to, because like for example, the last thing I would want for someone to have is an image of me being like some all-knowing God or like some superhero or something like this. At the end of the day, I'm just a normal person that goes through normal struggles like everybody else. And the idea of sharing these stories or sharing these adventures is because for all we know, dude, there's somebody that's listening to us that's struggling with their own self-confidence, their own self-worth, or they're downplaying themselves and they just need that, like, oh, hey, damn, like, look, this guy did it. Maybe I can do it too. Or like you can kind of be that symbol of hope or that plethora or that pillar of change for somebody.
Dash,
Because
the symbol of hope.
oh good God, that's so corny. I am the next All Might. But
But
that's
not
where
as corny as going to Monaco and what is it called when you have 2 rows of buttons on your
Double
suit?
pleated. Is that what you call it?
a double douchey.
I mean, we can
Well,
look at it. Where is
at
it?
least you're not going to the Monaco GP in that with that fashion sense.
That's enough.
And copyright. God, that was so goddamn loud.
Is the volume maxed?
No, I think
No, it's
I
not
oh no.
half.
No, I was
Oh, no.
playing Call of Duty last night on my gaming PC and I forgot that I had my volume all the way to the max.
Oh, okay. For you, it was.
Yeah, it was loud for me. I was like, damn it, no. But yikes. Oh, Dushan. We always find an after dark just to rag on the poor bastard.
Oh, we always do.
Can't avoid it.
No, but
Nope.
no, but honestly, and also we are not just robots talking about footy. We have like a plethora of interests here. Like we like wrestling, we like aviation, we
I
like
thought you liked
cuisine.
aviation.
PC nerds.
Let it go, Dave. Let it go.
I will, Dave. I will. I promise. I still promise, man. No, and dude, wrestling, the all the other leagues, different sports, NBA, the NFL, like we talk about honestly everything because we have interests of everything, right? We have like what is it called in Discord? The different like channels in Discord where you can discuss and talk about everything. Like we are fans of a lot of stuff, so we're not just here plainly talking about Juventus.
I also hate a lot of
So-
stuff too. That's also a thing.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
just
yeah. Oh,
humble.
yeah.
We're just humble guys.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, I love you too.
All right, motherfucker.
Yeah, but hey, look, I'm just saying. Somebody asked in the chat, can we get a little bit more origin stories so there's more to you than just that? I'm like, oh, there you go. There we go. We did an hour and 40 minutes of it.
Why
Only
nothing
half
can
of
be
that was
like that
origin
with
story.
the voice.
I mean, we did some origin story movie wise.
Yeah, just general. It's the origin
we-
story night.
And next week we will talk superhero origins.
Dash, the humble superhero.
Humble but still douchey superhero.
Oh, that could be fun. We'll get into more of it as as time goes on. I feel.
Oh, good God. I just can't wait to get out of this goddamn cast. I need my life back. Oh, no. I need to have more mobility back.
There, you'll get there, man.
I can't drive. It's driving me insane.
And we
All
barely
right.
spoke about war today, man.
Will
I
work?
dropped. No, he said war. I tried to drop right at the beginning. You guys were just too hot and horny. I threw in a couple of digs. You'll have to rewatch it.
Next
It's
week.
there.
Next week.
It's there.
Like,
If
I
you
don't-
caught them, let
I-
us know.
Like, yeah, like I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing, man, because it's got like an actual shoe on the
There's the
bottom.
feet.
It's like-
There's
a feet.
there's 2 feet pics in one episode.
It's weird because like I don't know, like I don't want to go outside with this and get this dirty because I can't take this off when I go to sleep. So I don't want to sleep with this shit like with fucking outside shit on it. So it's like I'm like in this like yeah, I can walk around like here, like live look here. It stands, it can walk. Like I walk like a fucking hobgoblin or something like that because it's like the thing is it's like it's unbalanced because of the Achilles splint, like one leg is higher than the other, so it feels like I've like my right foot is like 2 inches higher, so I'm finally 6'2". So any single chicks that want guys over 6 feet, I got you. I'm 6'2" now instead of 6.
Oh, with only 1 foot.
With 1 foot though. With 1 foot.
6 feet, but 1 foot.
6 foot with 1 foot. So it's just like it feels weird when I walk, but like I can walk now. So like yeah, I'm not on crutches anymore, but at the same time, it's like, okay, great, I can do that, but now I still can't drive because like there's no flexion in the foot. So it's like either I'm going full send or I'm going full brake. There's no in between.
I was just waiting for you to rip the headset off your head. As you
Oh,
walk
yeah?
away.
Yeah, just fuck it. But yeah, no, it's just like I'm hoping maybe in the next 3 or 4 more weeks I could potentially start driving and doing stuff. But
Well, at least you're moving. That's better than expected already, considering that we thought it was the worst possible outcome. So
yeah, I mean, and that's again silver lining, right? Like I can sit here and I can just bitch about it, right? Where it's like, yeah, I can't go out on imaginary dates because of my foot. Or it's just kind of like, look, man, like
Because they would be imaginary dates.
it's funny. Someone was like throwing that jab at me. They're like, oh man, you're not gonna be going out with girls anytime soon. I'm like, I wasn't going out with them to begin with, so it doesn't matter.
Having an injury doesn't stop you from dating, though, does it?
Yeah, let me
Really?
ask. Hey, little bro, can you drop me off at this one spot so I can? No, we're not doing this.
You take a. No, I mean, if you show the commitment, you're injured, you can't drive. It's like, yeah, my brother dropped me off. I can't drive, but I'm here.
Yeah,
Commitment.
in
And if she
today,
finds that weird,
hey,
fine.
and next
today's
next stage she will drop you off at home, man.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh my lord.
and she can kiss you at the door. Say goodnight.
Yeah,
It's
in
2025.
in today's age with the amount of options that they're out there, they're like, yeah, I'd rather get a
Should
guy
I
with 2
should I
legs.
help you? Should I help you up to your bedroom?
Yeah, some
I
girls are just looking for a dude to fix and take care of. You
They're
can be
not
that
coming
guy.
my way.
Walk into a date with your cast on and see what happens.
I'm not gonna lie
Puppies.
though.
You need a puppy.
The receptionist was hitting on me the one day I was doing my MRI scan. And I was just like,
Ooh.
I see what you're doing.
Nice. I like it. All right then.
Make sure you hit the
We
like
take
button.
we will take everybody. Send your applications if you want to date. So
German Dave is my my agent.
As always, send the feet pics. sportdogmediaco@gmail.com is the email.
Oh
Like,
man,
I'm not even joking. Like I one day want to open up that email and see feet. Not because I like feet, but because I think it would be hilarious. So
don't even, because Carl will send you fake feet, but just a fuck ton of them.
sportdogmediaco@gmail.com.
no beautiful feet, by the way. He will send you
Just
just the
fucking
dirty
fungus infected
ass.
feet.
Oh yeah, like
All right, well,
like Shaquille O'Neal feet, something like that. God damn.
whatever. Do what you want, man. Shaquille, Shakira, I don't care what it is. Send me some feet.
I bet Shakira's ain't bad.
I mean, she's
She probably.
old.
Hey, I feel like she's got crow feet.
Yeah.
She has to have
Bunions. She's got bunions.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Hey, you know what's with Latino women, and when they get like dumped because their man cheated on them, they just go on like a like just a pissed off fest. Because like remember when Shakira was just like fucking just losing her goddamn mind for like
But
8
I
months.
swear that's where she was on her best. Like the music all of a sudden that she brought again, like it was mid 2000s again, man.
yeah, look at Taylor Swift, right? She breaks up with the boy, next hit single.
No, but I feel like that's just like a recurring theme with Latinas. Like it's just like a guy dumps them or something like that, and they just
Oh. One last question before we offend again the whole Latina community. So be prepared to send the stream off. The holy trinity of Latina actresses. Dash.
Jennifer Lopez.
Your opinion.
she's not an actress.
She was. She had the wedding planner.
No. Ana de Armas, even though would she even count? She's Cuban. Does that even count?
Does it count as? Hold up.
They speak Spanish, I think, technically. I don't know. Just count it. Just count it. It's fine. Who's next?
Yes, Cuban can count as Hispanic or Latino. Research said it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw prime Jessica Alba.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Like that was one of the things when I was 12. She was probably like 17. What was that thing that she did? The Vampire Hunter? Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I don't know, but she is fucking gorgeous. Like just natural beauty. Like Jessica Alba is just fucking. Like
She did Flipper. She did Flipper as well. She played with dolphins.
Yeah, prime Jessica Alba. Like holy hell. Like if you
Yeah.
ever seen Into the Blue with her and Paul Walker, Jesus Christ, she's stunning.
Oh,
I was jerking off to her before you guys were even born.
Jesus,
that's her OG movie, man.
Yeah. The other one,
ironically, the second movie I think I ever saw of Jessica Alba was the first Fantastic Four.
yeah. Oh my God, Sue Storm, Jesus.
And I swear that's the only reason I watched that movie. Otherwise, it was trash.
Dude, yeah, she is something else. And then the last one I'm gonna throw on there as yeah, and this might be a little bit old. She might be a little bit older now, but Ava Mendes.
Oh, Mendes. I thought you were gonna go with Longoria.
No, God, no. Ava Mendes is something else.
Salma Hayek.
So for me, Salma Hayek.
Yeah, you could say Salma. See, I didn't want to throw her there because everybody does.
Because she deserves it, maybe.
It is what it is.
I'm trying to be a man of culture.
She's the GOAT.
She is the GOAT. You fucking
no,
coconut.
and then maybe this is because I watched that as I was like in my 20s. Sofia Vergara.
I don't mind her because she's like Modern Family and funny. But outside of that,
I don't know. For third place, there are a couple of ladies up for it. Like, I don't know, Penelope Cruz is there, Jessica Alba's in there, Eva Longoria's in there. Am I forgetting someone?
I mean, I don't know how we ended up back here again, but here it is. Here's
Yeah.
the list.
He said, "Here's the list."
Oh my god!
Eva
Yeah.
Longoria right at the
Yeah,
top
it's-
there with Salma Hayek.
You know what?
So,
I would put Jessica Alba on.
yeah,
Jessica.
I would too.
I was gonna say, how would
So
you
So
know?
Selma Hayek, Sofia Vergara, Jessica Alba. That's my top three.
She's effectively the Latina Natalie Portman.
Angel, yeah, she did. What else did she do? Okay, I mean, I can do this off air. I don't.
I was
have
gonna say you could do this all.
Yeah, in the bathroom. Okay.
And if we make this a Mount Rushmore, Ana de Armas on fourth.
Fair enough. I was
All right.
just going. With
I'm
the
done. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
All
Right,
right, for the
before-
sake of Jessica Alba.
Smash the like button before Dave smashes his meat, and make sure you the subscribe button. If you've made it this far, hit the subscribe button. I know KB will probably have made it this far.
And please, write your Mount Rushmore of Latinas in the comments.
Yes, actually do that. No.
I'm not joking.
And if there's
I'm-
any Colombians in particular, I want to hear about those.
Sofia Vergara,
Yes.
the Colombian.
So somebody's looking for Colombians. then, so.
No, they want me dead. I'm pretty sure that one wants me dead. But anyways, like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. And if I am not on the next video, then she probably got me. See you later.